Yo, what's up guys, it's me Jake here, and I collect manga. Now, I know what some keyboard warriors are probably already typing down in the comments below just by purely the title alone.
Jake, you already have so much manga, why do you need more? You have probably so much to read on your TBR. You stop capping, you need to start reading your TBR.
Well, I'm sorry to say this, but you can never have too much to read. I'm being very honest here. And these series, they're fire, so you definitely should have them on your planning. But of course, you won't ever have the chance of reading them in English because no publisher is going to actually publish these, I feel. Maybe a couple, one or two, but I feel like not all of them are going to get published at all. I feel like there's only one that has an actual chance of getting English print, and here are just some manga that I think should easily get some English print. Now, I also want to know what you guys want in English print as well. Leave that down in the comments below. This is all series that has never been announced or even like speculated to have English print yet, so that's just a little bit of a foreshadowing for the video, so please leave down in the comments below what you guys want in English print. So, before I get into my actual 5 manga that I want in English print, I'm going to give you some 5 honorable mentions that I don't know much about or have been recommended a lot, or I've just seen a couple panels and it looks amazing. Now, I'm just going to go quick fire with these. I'm not going to give them too much time because I don't know much about them. Starting off, Usugoi, then another one, Kono Oto Tamare, or The Sounds of Life. Another one, A Gorilla Will Die One Day. Another one, Billy Bat, and the last one is Machida-kun no Sakai. Now, on to my list. Now, for the first series I'm going to be talking about in this video, and actually giving some time to, is going to be Real Life. If you know nothing about Real Life, it is a very interesting kind of mystery slice of life that really brings a lot out of these characters, and I really think it does have a huge character focus, and I really like those kind of slice of lives. But if you know nothing about Real Life, here's a little bit of a synopsis for you guys. We follow this guy named Kaizaki Arata, who's 28 and is seen as a shut-in, doesn't have a job that's it's just like a part-time gas station job. He's given this chance to not go back in time, but to take a pill to make him look like a high schooler and go back to high school. And he takes this opportunity and tries to rebuild and stop being a shut-in. And that is called the Real Life Project. Now, I know that sounds kind of weird, kind of crazy, and I'm going to say this right now. It is very, very interesting and a very good plot. And I would definitely highly recommend this one. I did watch the anime, I will be very honest. I did not read this one. I do know the manga is full color though, and I will say that is very interesting in my eyes. I know that the Japanese volumes are really nice. I was very close to actually buying the Japanese volumes, but I did read the anime. I did watch the anime and I thought it was very, very interesting, so I definitely highly recommend it. If you want to read the manga, go ahead. I hear it's a great manga as well, but I just really want this one printed. I think it has 15 volumes and it is complete, so hopefully one day, but I don't see it. And if anyone does, it's going to be end press, and it's going to be $150 per volume. So yeah, that's the first one. Now, for a lot of my longtime fans of this channel will probably already know that I actually made a video very similar to this one way long ago. And it's actually the same video, but I'm trying to not include duplicates. This is the only duplicate I've included in this whole thing, and it's because I just love it so much, and that's going to be Ace of the Diamond. I think this is an amazing sports series. It's a great start to sports series. I would say this or Haikyuu, probably the top 2 sports series to start with, and I will say very interesting. And if you know nothing about Ace of the Diamond, I'll give you a little synopsis for this one as well. Basically, we follow this kid named Sawamura Asian, and he is a pitcher that is great, but not on a good team in middle school. And he has a lot of potential. And when Scout goes and sees his final game in middle school where they get killed in the tournament to go to nationals. But the Scout sees a lot in Sawamura as a pitcher and decides to give him a shot at Sato High School. Now, this high school is a dark horse. It used to be a huge school, but now it's starting to dwindle a little bit, but is being seen as a school that can compete for nationals again. And now it's the story about Sawamura Asian trying to become the ace of his team that wins nationals. Now, I know, this sounds basic. I'll be very honest, I will say that synopsis does sound very basic. But I'm going to say this right now, the characters in the story are the driving force. If you want a character-driven story that is very, very interesting and one that you'll have a lot of fun with, Ace of the Diamond is the one for you. This and Real Life are both character-driven, but I think this one has a cast that's bigger and probably funnier in my eyes and more interesting. I think Real Life has a better mysterious cast, but I think Ace of the Diamond has a more interesting and funny cast. I will say this right now, you should definitely read Ace of the Diamond if you ever get the chance. I've read about where the anime ended in Ace of the Diamond Act 2. I've not gone past the anime because I really like the anime. I will also suggest the anime for this one, but I'm going to say this right now, the manga is phenomenal as well. I love the art, I love the character designs, and I really love how the emotions are shown within this manga, and I love the baseball art. The baseball art is some of my favorite that I've seen out of all baseball manga, and I'm a huge baseball manga fan, so you can tell that's high praise when it's coming for someone who loves his baseball manga. Now, the next series I'm going to be talking about in a future video as well. I will be very honest about that. But that video is going to be a huge, massive video, and I hope you guys watch that one as well. That one is one I've been trying to work on very, very, very heavily for the past week. That's why I'm only having one upload this week and not two, and that's why I'm uploading on Wednesday instead of Tuesday or Thursday. Just going to put them in the middle of the week, and so I can kind of show you guys that I'm only uploading once this week, and I'm going to be trying to upload that video sometime next week. It's a big video, so just letting that be known. But this series is going to be Skate Dance. If you don't know anything about Skate Dance, very interesting work by Kenta Shinohara, who is the author / mangaka of Asher Lost in Space and Witch Watch. Two series I love very much. I think his art style is very interesting. Love his character designs, and if you like his comedy, it is just very, very Kenta Shinohara. It's a very great manga, and I haven't read the whole thing yet. I know that sounds weird by me saying it's a great manga and I have yet to read the whole thing. I read this a long time ago, so give me some slack, but I very much really wanted it to get printed. I know, some of the Japanese volumes are even hard to find in Japan, so it's probably not going to ever happen, but just sympathize with me, man. I really want Skate Dance, but you don't know anything about Skate Dance. Basically, we follow this group of 3 kids in the Sketan, which is a club at their high school, which they created, which basically is there to help people. And they kind of solve mysteries around the school, and it's just a very interesting, nice comedy slice of life. And I know what you might think, that just kind of sounds like Snafu a little bit, but I'm going to say it's definitely a more comedic, less serious Snafu, if you would. I'm going to say the art is also great. I love the art for Skate Dance. I think it's an amazing art style, so definitely highly recommend this one. And yeah, on to the next one. Now, the next series is probably the most potential of getting an English print. That's because every single manga that this mangaka has worked on has got an English print. And that's going to be said because the most recent manga that just came out literally yesterday, is the day of recording, Look Back, just got printed by him. That manga is going to be Goodbye, Eri. So, if you don't know anything about anything Tatsuki Fujimoto makes, it's crazy, and I love me some Tatsuki Fujimoto craziness. So you just know, I'm gonna love me some Goodbye Eri. Now, if you don't know, I've already read this. It's a one-shot. Very much enjoyed it. I'm gonna say this right now. I think all of Tatsuki Fujimoto's work so far has been very interesting and also very, very different. Now, I'm gonna say Goodbye Eri is a very kind of meticulously written one that I think is very interesting because it follows a kid who is gifted a phone to film the movie of his mom's passing. And afterwards, he shows this movie to his school and sees their reaction to the movie that he has created and over-dramatized his mother's death. So, I know, it sounds crazy. And that's just how Tatsuki Fujimoto is. If you know nothing about Tatsuki Fujimoto works, he always tries to find a way to work in a movie either subplot or even a movie arc. So that's one thing that I think is interesting, is he just dedicated a whole one-shot to filmmaking. So that just shows how much he's into filmmaking, and I really think that's an interesting side of Tatsuki Fujimoto that is not shown enough. Yes, like I said, he tries to work in some movie subplots and movie arcs, but I'm going to say, I feel like that's just something he needed to write with something about a movie, and I thought that was a very interesting concept. So I very much want this in English. The volume in Japanese looks amazing, and I'm going to say we already are getting the short stories, so we're probably going to be getting this in the future. It just came out in Japan like a couple months ago, the volume, so I'm going to expect probably the next announcement or the announcement after that to be having Goodbye Eri for Viz, so I'm just going to wait for this one. It'll probably get English print, so I'm not too scared for it, but hopefully it does, and hopefully it does very soon. Now, the last one, the one series I want to get printed in English the most. I know what most of you guys are probably going to say, because you guys all probably know what I'm going to say, because I've been raving about this series for the past 5, 6, 7 months at this point, and the anime is just about to finish the first season. That's going to be Awashi. It is an amazing manga with currently 29 volumes. I'm going to say this right now. This is probably the best sports manga I have ever read, and also one of my favorite mangas I have ever read. Currently, this is in my top 4 at 4th behind One Piece, Berserk, Black Clover, and it's this one. Now, I know you might be saying, Black Clover top 3 is crazy. Just deal with it, bro. You guys with JJK in your top 3 are the exact same way. So I'm just going to say that, just don't bother with that. But Awashi is an amazing manga, and I'm going to say you should definitely check it out. If you're trying to get into sports, I wouldn't say this is the best starter one, because it's definitely one that is a lot to take in. They talk a lot about soccer, and they give a lot about tactics of soccer, and as you can tell, I'm a soccer fan, currently wearing a soccer jersey. I don't support Fulham, I'm a Tottenham fan, but I'm a huge U.S. men's national team. This is Antonio Robinson's jersey, so that's that's clearing that up, because I know Fulham and Tottenham are not in the best terms. But I'm gonna say this right now, is an amazing manga. If you don't know anything about Awashi, we follow this kid named Aoi Ashito from Ehime, Japan, and he plays a game to go into a national tournament. I don't think this is the game to win to get into the national tournament. It's just in that tournament, and he currently has like 6 goals at this point. It's like they lost 7-6, but he headbutts someone and gets a red card in the 70th minute or 80th minute. And a manager from a youth team decides to check out that game, and it's the game where the ball is seemingly attracted to Aoi's feet. And he gets interested by this, and he starts to talk to Aoi after the game, and he notices that Aoi has a sort of skill that not many people have. And that's going to be able to see everyone on the pitch. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but a lot of actually really good midfielders have this. I'm going to say it's not like very common, but the best midfielders have a skill where they can see most people on the pitch, and they can kind of think about what they're going to do. And I'm going to say Aoi has this skill, and it kind of intrigues this manager named Fukuda, and he decides to recruit him to his youth team. That's all I'm going to say about Awashi. If you've yet to read it, you definitely should. Amazing manga, and it is in my top 4. So, just saying that right now. And I'm also going to say, give it time. I know the first, 50 chapters, it's good, but it just gets crazier, bro. Once you get into, the first real game, it's very, very intriguing. And even at the twist at one point, it is just amazing. Definitely highly suggest Awashi, and it's definitely my number 1 thing I want printed. And if anyone's going to print it, it's probably going to be 7 Seas, so hopefully, 7 Seas do me nice. But that's it for this video. If you guys haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button down below. And I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope I see you guys next time. Peace!